There are shows with psychics,
And there are shows with doctors.
but there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
And street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Baccili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight.
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects callers with loved ones in spirit.
In tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
Require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic.
and the Doc. And it starts now.
Everybody, I want to welcome you to a super edition of The Psychic and the Doc. I am Dr. Pat Baccili. And yes, for those of you out there, Dr. Pat, I can't do Dr. P. Diddy anymore because I don't know what's going on with Diddy right now. But those of you out there, also, I get to join my esteemed colleague, Mark Anthony, known as the Psychic Explorer, but so much more than that. You know, look, best-selling author. He's now traveling everywhere. And, you know, people always ask us, Mark, and by the way, just so you know, we're going to get to the phones real quick today. So be
Yeah.
patient with us. We're not going to take a lot of time. But today's topic is escape from gloom and doom. Now, I know you're committed and you are now back on tour.
Yes.
And I want to just say to folks for a minute, it's hard to measure someone else's commitment. Now, I study things like that, but for those of you, I want you to just hear what I have to say about Mark. See, it's one thing to do a show like this where we're sitting here in our studios and what we're doing, but then getting up, getting out on the road, getting out there with Ms. Rocky, booking things, going around the country. And I'm telling you, these are not short days. You
No.
hit the floor, you meet people, you sign books. That's what Mark is doing again. And if you want to find out about that, you can go to his website. He'll tell you what that is. But one of the things we wanted to talk about today, because of your interaction, Mark, and because of some things for me, escape
Escape.
from
Doom and gloom.
sound
And-
effect.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, this is a good topic, escape from doom and gloom, because, I mean, the world is just so intense right now. Every time you turn on the news, you hear about wars, you hear about things going on in this country, people are divided. And the Psychic and the Doc, this is your island in the middle of the turbulence. This is where you escape from your doom and gloom. And Dr. Pat and I are here to help you find that. But we're also here to encourage you to find your own escape from the doom and gloom here in this world. And I also want to give two shout outs. Number one, yes, I've been doing a lot of traveling, and I want to thank everyone at all the conferences, expos, and events that I've been at who's come up to me and said how much they've enjoyed tuning into the Psychic and the Doc.
Yeah.
It's really great. It's very nice, and I really appreciate that. The other shout out I want to give this weekend is Memorial Day, and I want to give a shout out to all of our brave men and women in uniform.
Oh my God, I got a story for you.
Yeah, well, the world's a turbulent place. There's a lot of doom and gloom. And I remember a few years back, I was at a party with a bunch of the PJs, the Parajumper rescue guys, and they all look like, the X-Men. I mean, these were all like the super, and I went up to them and I said, I want to thank you guys. And they all looked at me and they go, why? I go, because a lot of us are really concerned about what's going on in the world, and knowing that you guys are there really helps. So like, well, party with us, dude, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
So for all the people that are serving in the military, thank you so much for your sacrifice, because freedom isn't free. Somebody's already paid for it with their lives.
Well, freedom's just another word, unless you have something.
Yeah.
Kind of stop. I'm going. But I want to talk to you about this because I want to go to the gloom and doom. I got a call from someone, one of our audience of the Dr. Pat show. They don't call in here. I think it's past their bedtime or something. But I got a call and they said, "Pat, what are you going to do about the what's going on?" And I said, "Okay, which part of the world? Like what?
Yeah.
Like in my backyard, I got cats trying to eat the rabbit." No. They said, "Can you believe what's happening in," and this is their phrase, the Democratic Party? I said, "No, I don't understand what you mean." They said, "Is anybody awake?" And I said, "I still don't know what you mean." And they said, "Did you know that our current President Biden, I don't care what you think about it, but this situation is ridiculous. It doesn't matter what party you're on. I never thought it may not get on the ballot in Ohio." And I said, "Look, I don't follow these things." I said, "Is this, do I have to fact check you?" And they said, "No." And they said, "Please call your senator." And I said, "Okay, I'll do it if you do it." I said, "But what am I saying to the senator?" I cannot repeat what they said, and nor would I say that to either Senator Patty Murray or Senator Maria Cantwell. But I did call Maria Cantwell. And I said, "Please, I'm not going to tell you who I'm voting for because it doesn't matter." I said, can't even say it anymore. I said, "Who's running the asylum, people?" And you know, and I realized I didn't get aggravated, but the woman I talked to, I had to calm her down. You see, this is what you said. I don't, it doesn't matter what party you vote for or what you watch. People have on their phones little pop-ups that tell them everything. And I'm not saying I'm not aware, but I am saying that whether it's a war that's going on in the Middle East, whether it's the party you're voting for that you're not happy with, but I want to say something about Memorial Day. Take a minute and stop. I've called my senators all the time in the state of Washington. And today I had a very interesting conversation about something. But stop a minute and really honor those that have served. I come from a military
Yeah.
family, and I want to say not just men and women, not just guys, men and women. But Mark, I was almost broke down in tears at table tennis last Saturday. I play table tennis at a place that's all exclusive. And I got to tell you, there are places that are not. So people that have disabilities don't always get through the door. But I got to give a shout out to the Volunteers of America, formerly known as the Carl Gibson Center, because a gentleman and a woman walked in there with a little dog, and he was in a wheelchair. And he came in to play table tennis, and he had two legs that weren't what he was born with. And he came in, and Howard Grossman, 87 years old, my coach, treated him like he was like any other player. And this is what I'm trying to say about respect for Memorial Day. It doesn't matter how you feel about the military. For me, what it means is, how do you feel about humanity? And Howard is going to coach this gentleman personally. And he's not going to play in a wheelchair. So I wanted to just say that, Mark, to really honor what you said about
Yeah.
Memorial Day.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Pat. I appreciate that. Um, you
Probably going
know,
to beat the heck out of me, too.
well, the people who put on the uniform, the men and women who put themselves in harm's way, um, that is so important. And thank God that we have the most powerful military in the world, because if that
Mm.
military were in the hands of certain other world leaders, the world
Oopsie.
would be a very dark place. And talk about doom and gloom.
Yep.
And, despite the political upheaval, and I always try to avoid political discussion,
I do, but I had to
is
mention that one today.
there's two places in this country, and this is because of freedom, where nobody has a legal right to ask what you have done. One is in the jury room when you're a juror, and the other is at the voting box.
That's right.
Okay. And those are two very important
Yep.
rights. And as an
Yep.
attorney, okay, our constitutional rights are very fragile things. And the brave men and women in uniform have sacrificed their life and limb to make sure that we have rights that so many people, so many of us take for granted.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you to the
Yeah.
military, and thank you for helping us escape from the doom and gloom.
I will. And I want to give a shout out to David Essel. If you don't know who David Essel is, he has been around a really long time. But boy, he has dedicated coaching for veterans, free programs. And just like Mark does, both of us give back. Today, it's all about you. We're going to take a short break. When we come back,
We're
I'm
on
going
the
to,
phones. Yep.
we're on the phones, but I'm going to put my brain pap on because I want everybody to know that I need a lot of help to stay out of the gloom and doom. Let's take a short break, everybody. We'll be right back. Well, everybody, welcome back to the Psychic and the Doc. And I want to tell you, my friend, my colleague, most amazing Mark Anthony, the Psychic Explorer, and so much more. He's also a lawyer. He's like Mark Anthony, JD, Psychic Explorer, best-selling author, speaker phenomenon, all of the above. But right now, it's all about you, Emily. We would love to go to the phones for our first caller.
Okay, up first we have Jennifer from California. Jennifer, you are live.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, how are
Welcome.
you guys?
Hey, we're good. How are you today?
I'm okay. I love your program. Both you guys are amazing.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask Mark about my child who passed 2 years ago.
Is it a
Okay.
son?
And I have some, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And the reason I said that, as soon as I heard your voice, I heard the word
Mhm.
son. So that's a good sign. That means he wants to talk to you. And excuse me, the reason I'm clearing my throat is the sensation that I'm getting with him. Something was going on with him physically that was involving his throat, his ability to breathe, and I'm also getting a sharp pain in my head. Now that could mean something going on. Okay, that makes sense to you. Okay.
Yes.
And hold on. He said you hold vigil. Interesting. He says you hold vigil, Vigil. Vigil.
What does he mean by that?
Thank
You
you for
understand? Oh,
asking.
okay, good. You understand. Okay, so
She doesn't know what you mean by vigil.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know what you mean by that.
All right.
Gotcha. We'll explain it.
Yeah, a vigil is in my background, I was raised Catholic, okay, but I'm interfaith now because I study all the religions. Vigil means it's vigilant. You're aware, you're alert of his presence. Also, you pray a lot and you do a lot of things personally and spiritually to detect and sense his presence. Does that make sense to
I
you?
do.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're holding vigil. Just think of the word vigilant, like you're on your toes, you're paying attention. So he knows this and he sends you all kinds of signs. And the reason I'm smiling is he sends you some weird signs too. And now he's switching tracks and he's projecting to me a thimble. A thimble. I don't know if I've ever gotten a thimble. And the thimble, it's one of those little metal things you put on your finger, I guess, when you're sewing. I know that a thimble is also one of the pieces on a Monopoly board. All right. Is anyone close to you or him do a lot with sewing, knitting, anything like that? Or is there anything about the game Monopoly that might make sense?
He used to love to sew.
There you go. So that's a verifiable fact. He's letting you know that he's around you. He knows that you're vigilant, that you're tuned into him. And he said that it's time to take the safety tape off. It's time to take the safety tape off. Now, that's a strange message, but I think what he said, does that make any sense to you? I think the impression I get is he's kind of telling you, hey, mom, let your hair down. Let your hair down, okay? It's time for you to just sort of let your hair down, let the wind blow through your hair, take it easy, take a chance. You don't have to be so sad anymore. That's what the message is.
Well,
so,
I still worry about him all the time and him being okay and that type of thing. And then I've had a lot of things happen the last couple weeks. And
well, that I think that his message is making more sense, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Pat.
Mhm.
You have to realize people in this world are always worried about spirits. And as I explain in my all my books, Never Letting Go, Evidence of Eternity, and most recently, The Afterlife Frequency, that spirits are pure energy. We're all energy, but they're a much higher form of energy, higher vibration of energy. Energy never gets old, sick, tired, depressed, or dies. So they're always fine. They're always good. They're not alone. They're not isolated. They're not in some miserable, dark place. Your son's zipping around at the speed of light. He's fine. We, on the other hand, are the ones who are sad, miserable, get ill. So what he's telling you, Mom, time to take the safety tape off and not worry about him. He's fine. Instead, worry about yourself. Dr. Pat, what's your take on this?
I got it. I do a talk and I'm writing a book, and I've been doing this for a long time. I'm from New York City. So, my journey isn't quite like Mark's. I was slow in the game, and I created something that was going to work for me, and what I found it works for other people. It's called Street Smart Spirituality. And one of the first things that I address and when I'm doing a talk on this is the following. I talk about how long I grieved and wept on the loss of my mom. And I lost her at age 6, only to find out my mom was happier than a you know what and you know what. I can't say it on the air. And what I want to say is that when I was able to release that, my whole life changed. You see,
That's what I need to do. I know I do.
But I want to just be very clear, and Mark can help you on this. Your beautiful, beautiful child is all good, all well. No danger, no harm, nothing. But I want to talk about the tape. Do you know what the tape represents? It's that yellow tape in Law and Order, and that tape? Do you know that yellow tape
the stay away,
that you see in those crime shows?
Screen.
Yes. So I want to leave you with 2 things. Anyone that puts up that tape energetically, you're not just holding off the people that are not here. Lord have mercy, my mama used to say, girlfriend, you need to take that tape down because ain't nobody going to get into the relationship with you now. I'm just saying, time to take it down. No harm, no foul, no danger, all is well. Please do that. And I'm going to give you something specific to do. You with me?
I'm with you.
All right. I want you to go get a roll of that tape. And I want you to put it at a place where you feel most restrictive. I don't care if you do the whole area, but please don't do it to somebody else's house, in your own property. Okay, and then I want you to do your own vigil and cut that sucker down.
Okay.
That's your mission if you choose to accept it, okay?
Done.
I need to do it. I mean, I'm driving myself crazy, so I've got to do it.
Well, I'm gonna put my brain tap on for you because I have a device that I use. Because I'll put my brain tap on. See, everybody, that's what I use. Because Forrest Gump said it best: "Crazy is as crazy does," and we don't need to keep doing it. All right, have yourself a great weekend. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say to everybody, please, we need to cut that tape. All right, Emily, who is next?
Okay, up next, we are going to go to Lisa from New Mexico. Lisa, you are live.
Hey, Lisa.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Mark.
Hey.
I'm good, Dr. Pat.
Good.
I just, I have a question that might be unusual, but
go for it. We love
Mark.
that.
Yeah, you came to the right place for unusual questions. Go right ahead.
Okay, on the day of the eclipse, on that morning, I think it was April 8th, I was having a dream, and I heard a woman's voice call my name, and I immediately woke up. I didn't recognize the voice. I did have a similar experience in the end of November when my partner of 20 years, he passed in July. in the morning, and in that morning I was gonna go to work, but I heard him, and he came in my dream. I didn't see him, but I heard him call me by my nickname, what he would call me, Boo, and he yelled my name, Boo, and I immediately woke up and freaked out.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we understand that your partner in spirit, he's made contact with you. You heard him just as you're coming out of the dream state. Now you're focusing on this other voice that you heard, the female voice. Is your mother or is his mother in spirit?
Yes, both.
Both, because I'm getting that this is a mother, and I'm leaning more towards it may be his mother. And she's talking about, I know this is going to sound weird, but weird questions oftentimes end up with weird answers. And she's talking about your hair. What is going on with your hair? She's showing like really wavy hair and doing something with your hair and scalp treatments and all this stuff with your hair. What is going on with your hair?
Well, I did have what's it called, psoriasis.
Scalp treatments, and that's real itchy. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, but I haven't had a episode in quite a while. I keep it under control, but I had to cut my hair real short, but now I started letting it grow this year.
And there you go. Hair. You see, that is a verifiable fact following the message. So that was your partner's mother. That's why you didn't immediately recognize her voice. She's letting you know that, you had the psoriasis, the scalp treatments. You had to cut your hair. Now you're letting your hair grow. You're doing stuff with your hair. So what that means is she's around you, he's around you, and your mom's around you too. And your mom keeps talking about peppermint, and something about December. Because when I start tasting candy canes and peppermint, that's something about December. Is there a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event connected to you, your mom, your boyfriend? Okay, go ahead. What is it? You.
Me, I'm a Christmas Eve baby.
And there you go. So we got your boyfriend, your mother-in-law-ish, and your mom popping in to say hello. So this is very significant. You are able to, and you're acknowledging that you can communicate with them in the alpha state, which is the state between as you drift off into deep sleep. Very good. Congratulations. Dr. Pat, what's your take?
Great.
I want to give you a message. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
We're not medical doctors, but I want to just ask you a question related to this. Do you find that you get a reoccurrence when your hair is longer?
A reoccurrence, and I'm not getting you.
Yeah, the psoriasis comes back.
Oh.
Scalp stuff, comes back. I know. I caught you. I caught you.
Stress.
Well, okay, but is it related to anything with your hair? I'm really curious about this message that's come through for you.
I wear caps at work. I mean, but
yes, you do.
I think it started from wearing the caps in the heat over here in New Mexico. It gets really hot in the summer.
No kidding. Right. So here's what I'm going to leave you with to ponder, because I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm going to leave you this. I don't know if you're watching. You see how short my hair is? See that hair right there? That's like a Charlize Theron haircut after she played Mad Max, right? Going on right there. So
no, I'm not.
Here's
watching,
what I want to say.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know you have short hair.
Okay. So here's what I want to say to you. You may want long hair, but will it help you in the long run? I don't answer it. I want you to think about it. Because you know what I'm talking about. It's getting ready to be summer. You're going to put that cap on. You're going to have that long hair. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, and it's going to be rough and that psoriasis might flare right back up. Yeah, I've been thinking about that.
I know. All right. You got it then. Thank you. So you got to make your own decision on that. Okay?
Yeah, I do. I got to think about that.
Yeah. So go like this. It's going to be like, long hair, psoriasis. Which do I want? Okay. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. Let's take a quick break, Mark. When we come back, we're going to get Sue right on the phone here for a short, how should we say it? Update.
Follow up. Yeah. Okay, great.
We'll be right back. Back, you're listening to The Psychic and the Doc. Of course, if you want to find out more about me, you could go to thetransformationnetwork.com. You can go to my company, Unlimited Possibilities Now.com, and pretty soon you just go to Dr. Pat Show. But for Mark, what is the best way? We need to be following you around. So what's the best way for people to work with you and find out where you're going to be?
Oh, sure. Please visit my website, which is afterlifefrequency.com. Afterlife Frequency, just like my book. Please sign up for my newsletter. You can go into the calendar of events and find out all the things I got coming up. And I got a Light Circle event in about 2 weeks in June, limited to 6 people. There's still a few tickets left. And I'm going to be at Helping Parents Heal biannual conference in Phoenix in August. But I've got other events coming up online before then. And I've just been asked to return to Virginia Beach to Edgar Cayce to speak at the Ancient Mysteries Conference in October. And I'll be talking about the secrets, mysteries, and curse of King Tutankhamun's tomb. Woo! So that's going to be a lot of fun to do. But in the meantime, every week I'm on The Psychic and the Doc, and you can also find out about subscribing to Best Holistic Life magazine. In fact, we're going to have Jana Short, the editor-in-chief of Best Holistic, on in a couple weeks. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And she's got a big announcement that she's going to be making. And anyway, Dr. Pat, what do you say we go back to the phones?
Yeah, let's check in with Sue.
Okay, Sue from New York, you are live.
Hey, Sue,
Hi
thank
there.
you.
Thank you.
I know
Thanks
you've
for
got an
letting me
update for us, so we're really eager to hear it.
Yeah, after I hung up, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm wearing these jade green pants. She kept going on about getting a jade, an actual stone, but I think it was the pants. I think it was the malachite that's the same color as the pants I was wearing. And also, I talked about the fridge because he brought up the fridge, the door being open. I had just earlier that day done exactly that, organizing my keto for the week, and it takes a long time, and I have to sit down on the floor, and it's open for a while, and so it was amazing that he hit on that. Plus, at that refrigerator spot, I've smelled her perfume at least 3 times. So
there you go. Wow. Wow.
And then I felt so bad because you said, oh, I'm having a bunch of bad stuff going on here, and it really did. As soon as we hung up, I was like, oh my God. And then right now I almost didn't call because I looked at the clock. It was already 15 minutes after. I thought, oh, I blew it. And then I just did it anyway, and you just started the calls. And my mom I'm from New Mexico originally, and it was so cool to hear her New Mexico accent. I haven't heard that in a while, and I guess I was meant to call.
It was.
Well, thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Sue, because we rarely hear back from people, and so I'm so thrilled that you were able to call in. Thank you so very, very much. And boy, do I really understand the keto organization thing. I may have to do a show on the Dr. Pat Show just about that. Thank you so much for calling in. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Sue. God bless you.
I almost stopped doing a keto thing because just the organ. Oh my God, it's like I've got Linda here. She's a triple Virgo. She can help. All right, Emily, who do we have next?
Okay, up next we have Anita from Wisconsin. Anita, you are live.
Hi, Anita. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hello. Thank you so much for taking my call. I can't believe it. Mr. Anthony, I've read your books, and I'm just so amazed by your power and everything you can do. I actually can't believe I'm talking to you guys. Wow. Anyways, my concern, I was looking to connect with my mother who has passed.
All right, hold on, Anita. That's all I need. Let's see if we can get your mother to step forward. Now there's hold on, and thank you for your enthusiasm. I love your energy. Okay,
yeah, me too.
There is a female There is a female energy stepping through. Now, before we assume this is your mother, because it could be somebody else connected to you, This woman she's bringing my attention to her feet. So what this could indicate is there was some type of issue or problem with her feet. She may have been having problems walking. I am getting a lot of pain in like the balls of my feet and the arches of my feet. She could have had bunions, but there was something else going on with her feet and ability to walk prior to passing. I'm also getting difficulty in her throat and articulating, and the word aphasia has been projected. Now, aphasia occurs when people are trying to speak and the words don't come out right. And that's due to something affecting the function of the brain. And and Dr. Pat could probably explain this better than I can, but it's basically a disease. It's something which is impacting the brain. And then my heart feels like it's about to jump out of my chest. I'm getting like this, like so. So she was having difficulty walking, difficulty swallowing, breathing, articulating, and something was going on cardiovascular. And I could keep going. There's pains now in my low back and kidneys. All right. Does any of this make any sense to you, Anita? It does? Okay. And that sounds like your mom? Okay. Now, yeah, I know a lot of people like sunflowers, but she showed me sunflowers. Interesting thing about sunflowers is the way I see them in my mind's eye. They look a lot like daisies. You know, they got the brown spot in the middle and the yellow petals. So she's showing me a lot of sunflowers. And she said that you're really good these days about getting enough sunshine and getting more vitamin D. She said you've really done a good job pulling yourself out of, it's interesting, the doom and gloom. That's the theme of the show tonight. Pulling yourself out of the funk. And you're doing something where you're getting vitamin D and getting into the sun. But she's also saying that there's something going on. I feel like with you, I feel like I'm scratching my forearms. And I don't know if you're having an issue with your skin or your skin's getting thin, but there's this itchiness going on. Does any of that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. Yes.
In what way? Go ahead and let us know.
Well, I have a little sense. And by the way, she was right. I was in kind of a big funk a little while back, and I'm trying to get myself out of that. That's so true. But I have like a nerve condition. It's interesting because it's mainly in my feet. And I know you had mentioned that my mom, and she also had problems with walking and with her feet. But so the skin thing probably probably has to do more with my lower extremity, my feet more, I think, than my elbows or forearms.
Hold on. One message can have more than one meaning. So the feet applies both to your mom and to you. Have you had your blood sugar levels checked? Do you have any issues going on with blood sugar levels?
That's a good question. No, I did. I've had a full panel of blood sugar, all the lipids and everything. So that looked actually pretty good. It's kind of a medical mystery is what's wrong with me.
Well, the reason is a lot of times when I get the itching on the forearms, it could mean that somebody may be heading in the direction of pre-diabetes. And if you had the blood work recently and it said that you're good, but and you don't have to divulge your medical history here on air. Okay, we want to maintain your privacy. But the thing is, this could be what I refer to as spirit intervention. And your mom's spirit could be saying, let's keep an eye on blood sugar and also what's going on with the neurological issue. And I say it's a mystery, but I'm going to recommend that if your doctor can't figure out what it is, find a different doctor. Okay. Because there's a solution for every problem. You just may not have the doctor that has it yet. Dr. Pat, what's your take on this?
So I want to ask you a different question, if you would, and I'm going to be short and sweet. Where do you want to go that you're not going?
That's an interesting, like more as in terms of like trips or health wise or like
just going. Like there's someplace you want to go, you're not going.
Yeah, I've been thinking about I wanting to get out and travel quite a bit. Yes, quite a bit more because I've been home a lot and
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
That's
but you
so
ain't
very
getting your,
true.
yeah, you ain't getting them feet moving, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, that is.
So
I've been thinking about that. In fact, today thinking about, things that I want to do, places that I want to go that I haven't
that's it.
done.
Okay. So I want to give
Yeah.
you a message. I want to give you a message. We're coming up on June in a very important year. And for those of you out there, if you know anything about, anything about Chinese New Year, the dragon, the year of the dragon, all of that, it doesn't matter if you know it or not. Whenever a message comes through like this, I made a joke about it. You never want to date my feet. I'm just being very clear about it. I play a sport and I'm like any other athlete that plays a sport as much as I play. You do not want to date my feet. But this message isn't for me. You see, you want to put on your boots, and these boots are made for walking. So I really want to ask you to stop thinking and do one thing if you can that you want to do and
Okay.
get your feet moving. Doesn't have to be like a big trip to Hawaii. It doesn't matter. Do
Uh-huh.
something you want to do. That's it. Whenever I hear
Okay.
about a metaphor about feet, it's less about feet unless you got my feet. It's less about
Yeah.
feet and it's more about your feet want to do the walking and you're not letting them do it.
Mhm.
Okay. That's
Okay.
your mission if you
Yes.
choose to accept it.
Yeah, yes, very much so. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Please do something. You've got this weekend, do something. Thank you so much for calling in. Powerful
Yeah, thank you
message.
for taking my
Powerful.
call.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
You
You
got,
you.
know,
thank you.
Dr.
Wow.
Pat, this is why I love working with you because, I get these messages and I present them, and it's so nice because you have this objective, analytical way of interpreting this, and messages are multiple meanings. And so I'll bring forth the message, and it's like their car is over there and they're coming to see us. The same sound has three different meanings. And what really helps, because I'm caught up with the spirits and with the client, and the client's trying to figure it out. And you're like, oh, well, it could mean this and this and this. And they're like, oh my God, it does, And so that is the power of the psychic and the doc. What do you
Yeah.
say we go to another call?
Do it.
Okay, up next we have Karen from Colorado. Karen, you're live. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Karen. Great to have you on. You're live.
Hi, Dr. Pat and Mark. How are you
Hi.
both? I want to say I appreciate the both of you.
Thank you so
And
much. We're
I'm
really good.
hoping to hear, thank you. um, I recently lost a child, so I'm hoping to hear from him.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. First off, please accept our
Yeah.
deepest
Yeah.
sympathy. I mean, to everybody, but particularly to the parents who've lost children. No mom should have to go through that. So Karen, we're here for you.
Thank
Let me
you.
see, and let me see if we can get your son to come through. Hold on. Yeah, I'm getting a male energy stepping forward, and I'm getting this. My lungs just feel like they're stopping. And first off, please, when I start giving evidence about how somebody died, I know I can sound very clinical about I'm getting this, and I don't mean it in a non-emotional way. But I'm getting this, all of a sudden my lungs, my cardiovascular system feels like it's going into an atrophy, and it feels like this young man's lungs stopped working first. Then I'm also getting a sharp pain at the bottom, like where the liver is, at the bottom of the rib cage on the right side, but then even farther down in my abdominal region on the right side, I'm getting this deep sensation. It's almost like if you like tied a rope around my waist and pulled it really hard. And then there's a shock wave going through my body, and the shock wave, what that indicates to me is that this was an abrupt or sudden passing. Does any of this make sense to you?
Oh my gosh, yes. The initial report said that it was an embolism, a large embolism in his lungs. And he also was in a serious car accident a few months ago, and he had stomach issues. So this all makes sense. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Um, Interesting. And when I say interesting, it's because he's certainly he had the car accident, he had the issues, but he's talking about something going on with you or somebody close to you and you don't have to give the details, but he's talking about surgery. Is somebody, either you or somebody close to you, scheduled for have to do some type of surgery coming up?
I just went to the orthopedic today to see if I needed surgery on my foot.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that means he's around you and aware of what's happening. Okay.
Yeah.
Now yeah, yeah, that's cool. And he's like, he said, I'm busy here, Mom. I'm busy, 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 and loving it, loving it, loving it, and loving it. Okay. What that means, he wants you to know that he's happy, he's fine. I'm hearing this whole God, this is so weird. I'm hearing, hold on a second. I hit the mute button so you don't have to hear me cough. He's giving me a song from The Wizard of Oz. Buzz, 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 chirp, 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 and a couple of la-dee-daws. It's how we pass the day away in the merry old land of Oz. Now, I know that's about as weird as it gets. But I know, is there anything about that particular movie or that also is a song that relates to being super busy but really happy about it? Does any of that make sense to you?
Yeah, so I actually have two sons in spirit. Michael just recently passed. I'll tell you his name. But they
Okay.
both know. I used to always tell them The Wizard of Oz was my favorite movie when I was a kid,
Oh,
which can be frightening for kids, but I love the movie. So only they would know that.
only they. All right. So that's why, I mean, because that's, normally when you think of that, you think of like Over the Rainbow or something, not the buzz, 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 chirp, whatever. Don't even ask me to do that again, but that's what they gave me. So then you have two sons in spirit. One knows, well, they both know that you went for a surgical
They both know.
consult, and then now they're both saying, "Hey, Wizard of Oz," and that was your favorite movie as a child. So they are around. They want you to know that they're definitely in the light. They said the cool thing about the light, he says, when you first see it, it's the light, but then when you really see it, there are colors that you can't even begin to imagine. Okay. Hey, they want to leave
Beautiful.
with, before I turn you over to Dr. Pat, they are showing me an album by this group called the Moody Blues, and they're talking about Days of Future Past. And I'm hearing Tuesday Afternoon and Nights in White Satin. Wow. Your sons are very musical. Does Moody Blues
Yes, they both are.
Okay. Something about
I'm gonna
Tuesday,
write it down. It might come
Afternoon
to me
and
another time.
Nights in White Satin. They're beautiful songs. Look them up. Okay. And the name of the album that they're showing me is Days of Futures Past. God, that's a strange one.
Wow.
Look, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Pat, I think I need your interpretive ability on this one.
I will. Hey, thank you so much. I think we're having a show about feet tonight because that's really seems to be the theme, but metaphorically it's not. Can I ask you a quick question? And again, Mark and I are not medical doctors. So, but I want to ask you, you went to see the doctor about your feet because there's obviously things that you're not able to do that you want to do. Is that correct? You don't have to give me the medical thing, but just yes or no. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And those things, you have to decide, do I get the surgery or not? If you get the surgery, what's your greatest fear?
I'm hoping not to have the surgery because we want to go back east to have a little celebration of life. So if I needed the surgery, that could postpone that.
Gotcha. So the surgery is postponable. The ceremony is not, correct? Okay.
Well, yes.
Okay. What did you say the name of the album was, Mark?
Days of Future Past.
Bingo. When you talk about Days of Future Past, you understand it's about past. You see, if I interpret this, you're going back east to do a ceremony about something that may happen in the past, correct?
No, we were going to do a ceremony for him. He loved the ocean, so I want to.
That's what I'm trying to say.
The ocean for. Okay.
Yes. Okay,
Yes,
what I'm
okay,
trying to
yes,
say
that's
is
correct.
passing, in his passing. Do you see what I'm saying,
Yes.
Mark?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you get a message like this and you're going to celebrate a passing, it's about days of future past. You see what I'm trying to say to you?
Okay.
So there's a
Yes,
message
I
here.
do say.
Okay. So I'm going to leave you with this. You can probably get the surgery anytime. Is this correct?
They're going to see if it'll heal on its own, so I might not need it.
Right. Bingo. Put them shoes
Okay.
on, and like I told somebody else, let them feet do the walking for you. Celebrate,
Okay.
celebrate,
Thank you.
celebrate. That's the message. You're contemplating an action
Okay.
which you don't have to do right now, but celebrating passing, especially of right days of future past.
Yes.
And when people
Yes.
say days of
Yes.
future past, what they're talking about are days of a future that a person did not get to experience. Do you see what I mean? So
I
you need
do.
to
Yes.
celebrate this big time. Got it?
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Rock on. You may want to download that song. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much. Please let us know. Thank you so much.
Thank you, both of you.
You bet.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have time for a real short one, Mark?
Well,
What do you
let's
think?
do it. If we
Let's
can do it,
go.
let's do it.
Okay, up next, we are going to go to Nelson from Hawaii. Nelson, you are live.
Hi, Nelson. We're going to get
Aloha.
right to aloha. We're
Hi.
going to get right to it. And by the way, if we don't get to all of this, please make sure you call in next week. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. How can we help you?
Hello.
Hi.
Aloha. This is Nelson. I called you like 3 years ago. You and Mark Anthony. I was at Gloom and Doom stage in my life, and I was ready to go home. And you advised me to go to a grief support group.
Yes.
Well, thank you for saving my life, because that has led me to seeing life in a new way. And
Oh,
it's been amazing. Angela, who's my grief host, even had you on her summit. I was amazed to see you there. It was like full circle. And I just want to thank you so much. Anyway, my dog was the reason why I was in Gloom and Doom. He was the love of my life, and he died
I
3 years
remember
ago.
this.
And
Yeah.
about a year ago, I adopted a puppy from the Hawaiian Humane Society. But the weird thing is, when I took him home, I saw the spot on his head where I kissed my previous dog, and it has a lip shape, and he behaves exactly like my past dog. So I'm kind of I mean,
you're wondering,
what's
is this
going on
dog
here.
the reincarnation of your last dog? What do
Mm-hmm.
you feel? What's your feeling?
I'm basically tend to be a skeptic, and on my support group, I've been getting messages from spirit for other members of the group, and I don't understand that, because I don't consider myself that way, be able to do that.
All
And
right,
then my
hold
dad from
on,
the
hold
other
on.
side.
Nelson, let's take the skepticism and
Mm-hmm.
flush it down the toilet, because that's what's blocking you from getting these beautiful messages and getting the answers for yourself. Because the thing is, you're getting bogged down in what I call the no syndrome, which is where you're overthinking and hyper analyzing when messages are coming through. And it takes practice. My book, The Afterlife Frequency, that's where I introduced the RAFT technique to recognize signs from spirits, accept the contact as real, feel it without overthinking, and trust the message. And it also tells you how to get that hyperanalysis out of the way, because what's happening to you is a gift, and you know, you've had to go through all this pain and loss, and now you're in a place to where you can start receiving these messages. And I also want to thank you for calling in, because this is part of your journey too. Dr. Pat?
I would like you to call in next week, Nelson, and we'll put you right up to the front if you could, because I really want to talk to you more about what you said. I want to tell you how absolutely positive you are and what you're observing. But there's a bigger message here for you, and we don't have time today. if you can call in next week, Nelson, please do. And I do remember you calling. I do remember you calling.
Thank you.
Would you please do that? And then when you call in, we'll share the full scope of the message. Okay. Thank you, Nelson. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you both.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Mahalo.
Yeah.
Mahalo.
Woo,
I love
boy.
you.
Love you too. I got to get me a trip now to Hawaii. It's been a while. I used to go all the time.
I love Hawaii.
What a great show.
It's amazing. Yes. Everyone, thank you for calling in. For the people we didn't get to, like Dr. Pat said, call in next week. We will be here. I'm the psychic, and I'm here with the amazing Doc.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just need to go on record. I got a text message from one of y'all. I don't know how they get. No, I am not taking a picture of my feet. Trust me. You do not want me to do that. Only place you're going to see my feet are in the white sands of Hawaii. Thank you all for tuning us in and turning us on. You athletes out there, why aren't you asking Caitlin Clark to show her your feet? Show her your feet, people. Anyway, thank you for tuning us in, turning us on. But remember, things about the feet are never or rarely about the feet. We'll see you next time. Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into The Psychic and the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat Baccili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on The Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.